What up, everyone on YouTube? This is luisanitrans, aka M25, aka LuisJM. And on August 27th, 2011, I started my YouTube channel. So that's pretty much over 10 years ago, which means that I've decided that on this video, I'm going to look back at all of the videos that I've made, make certain responses to those said videos, depending on what content they have, and tell you about the future of the YouTube channel as a whole, in a way. Now, this is gonna be a long and overdue video, and I don't think I can use my camera to do it, so I'm using it on Zoom, using my recording on Zoom just so we can just so I don't have to waste too much battery life or video capacity. Without further ado, let's begin. So, as you know, for 10 years I've been doing my recordings through cameras. So far I've used up 3 cameras, and this one is pretty much my third one, which is a Sony CyberShot. Now, as you can see, it's showing some wear and tear as it is, but video and audio records pretty nice. Though then again, when you have old cameras, they do tend to get a little janky at times. Last camera the audio was so staticky when it gets too loud, noises of course. And my second camera that I got, there's always a bit of a mess up because there was like 3 certain switches. One for pictures, one for panorama, and one for video. I put it all the way to video so I can do my recording, but every time I record, the video immediately stops and it thinks it's on panorama. So it is kind of a strange bag, especially considering that the whole panorama thing just doesn't feel right. Still, I'm up to my third camera, and while it is a bit banged up, it still runs. Though if it does tend to get destroyed in and of itself, I don't know if either I want to do another camera or better yet, a phone. Though then again, when you're dealing with phones, that means you have to clear up all that disk space, especially with my video games and all that. So I ain't no way I'm going to do that. So if this thing goes out, I can always find another camera at Best Buy or Walmart or whatever retail store that has it. So I'm kind of hoping that this camera stays on as long as I could keep it up. Now, one more thing. I'll be doing a little bit of drinking with a cream soda because, well, there's going to be a lot of talking, and my voice is still shot at the AEW show in Flushing, Queens, which was enjoyable at best, so why not? Cream soda is good, though. Now then, let us proceed with the videos that I've recorded since I started the channel. Let me put it up on, here it is. Okay, so, as you see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the first videos that I've made, all the way up to the most recent. And I will share a certain videos on what I did. Now, this is like the first one that I've done, which was pretty much my introduction page. Was a long time since I did this one. Now I don't know much about what I used, but I know I had introduced my first camera to start my video. But the second option I did was making a promise that I would set up an arcade of my own to do a walkthrough. Now, 10 years later, I still feel like I can't purchase any arcade games because the old ones are a bit expensive, and even though the one-up arcades was supposed to be, are the new thing to do, that too could be expensive depending on price variety. Now, so I had a third option that I am doing and setting up an arcade but it's still a work in progress. So once I'm done finishing, I promise you all that I'm gonna record the games that I have. It's not gonna be like the old school arcades or the one-ups, but it's closely related. All right then, let's proceed with the next one. If this thing can load up. There we go. Now, when I started, I had to test out the camera on certain things. So when my family and I went on a trip, I recorded a couple of videos from France, mostly Disneyland Paris. Now, keep in mind, all of these videos were all just me trying to start it up nice and easy. Of course, the one downgrade for that is both the time limit and how I was handling the recording. Time limit wise, when I started, there was a bit of a 15-minute limit for these recordings. So I did like full-on walkthroughs of both Disneyland Studios and Disneyland Paris, which, well, had a lot more content than expected. Because of that, I had to do some editing with one of those video editors and make it look like less than 15 minutes based on the popular rides. So it was a strange time for me. Another thing was setup because, well, as you can see from this video, when I was doing a close-up on the Phantom Manor, I had to tilt the picture to one side, which means you see it sideways. So yeah, again, I've been busy trying to figure out what to do with the recordings. So that is what it is. Thankfully, I now know how to handle all the recordings, and I was able. The 15-minute mark time limit was removed, so people can record anything they want without having to do some quick edits here and there. So hopefully I'll keep going with that part from time to time. Let's continue to move on ahead. Okay, so all of these videos are just going to be meant to check through. Of course, the one thing I want to discuss is my transformation videos, beginning with the first one I've made. It's called Futures for Mindless Self-Indulgence, and I use Clue Dog's Getting Into the Role too. Now, keep in mind, this is where Clue Dog was starting out with transformations, and this was one of those videos that I got hooked up into. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a message that stated that there was supposed to be a you can get paid to show these videos if you have a certain code for a piece of music you got. Now I've been getting music for free on certain websites and don't have much of codes to post up because I don't know anything. So I just went on with it and just post whatever music would be fitting for certain transformations. Like for instance, this future video, that is when you see a man turning into a woman, then turning to a cat from a future. So yeah. Also, the music gets cut off, so I never really finished it up completely. I just did it quickly in a few bright seconds, so it was a bit of a mess depending on what I do wrong. Of course, the other thing that I want to discuss about is, of course, all these copyright claims. Now, you might be seeing certain copyright claims in videos because that means they cannot monetize it and it's ineligible for payment. So yeah, that's a bit of an adjustment that I have to get used to. However, most of the videos I posted up are not infected. People can still watch it on YouTube. There are certain videos that are either banned partially or banned permanently. I might have to get to those said videos if I want to explain to you all what's been going on. Until then, let's keep checking. All right, we got stuff from Madame Tussauds, which is a wax museum in New York. I had to do a two-parter because it wasn't easy trying to do a whole full walkthrough when you have the quote-unquote 15-minute time limit involved. Then you have, of course, Dave and Buster's, where I was starting the recording from there, but of course I had to cut it off because the people don't allow those types of recordings in places like that. Has something to do with like a Namco thing, which I asked one person about, but it is what it is. And we have like places like Boiler City and Frane's Bowling Alley. Oh yeah, Frane's Bowling Alley. I remember that place pretty well in Port Authority. They used to have an arcade, did an updated version a long time ago, but after that they stopped doing arcades in general and focused on what's supposed to be a beach hut activity area. That is a weird thing. Oh, here's another copyright claim from Opportune Bimbo Force, which was pretty much another Clue Dog product with Carl and Velma from Scooby-Doo turning into bimbos. And this one is pretty much age restricted, so viewers for 18 years old are allowed to see it. Don't have much of anything else, but I don't think there's a problem with that. Then you get to see other stuff, Warren Lane's Funplex, which I did continuous updates on a whenever I had the time. Could be on a year-to-year basis or 2-year basis, depending on how long it's been. And it made a lot of changes. From, say, they used to have like a race cart in some kind of barn area where you can drive around with race cars all over the place. Now they upgraded it to like a bowling alley with a few more additional amusement parks and of course a racetrack. So yeah, trying to be I Play America. Oh, and this one is kind of interesting. New York Comic Con. That's right. I done that all on a yearly basis. And I always post this up every year when I'm there. Of course, I never posted it up on the day prior, but unfortunately, it was a bit difficult to manage when you have a lot of other videos that you have to take care of first. And I have a very intricate schedule because normally I do like transformation videos, then blogs, then like certain events or art galleries, then of course hankering for more from YI, which I will get to later on. And then we move on down to like performances or artistic performances, and finally amusement parks, with of course arcades cut in between, just because I want to show off a lot of the arcades. Now, if I was from New York Comic Con, I do this, like I said before, I say to do this every year. It always gets bigger and better every time. And then later on, I did like Anime NYC in 2018, which was pretty much an anime convention. And they always are so popular during the time of these conventions, even more so. Hell, I even did auto show in 2019, and I was gonna plan on doing a tour of the place in 2021 until they canceled it due to the whole COVID restrictions, which, you know, I'm still a little iffy about Comic-Con and Anime. See, I mean, last year, get it, we didn't have it because of COVID. And of course, when you're dealing with Comic-Con, they had to resort to just doing virtual panels in this place called the Metaverse, which isn't much of a convention with when conventions are about autograph signings and exhibits and artist panels and all that such. So yeah, it's tough to manage from that point on. Now they brought back Comic-Con and Anime NYC, and I'm gonna be there for those two events. Though I'm a little concerned on how they're gonna handle all the COVID restrictions for the CDC. I already know that they need to allow proof of vaccinations, and from what my friend told me, you need to be tested 3 days prior before getting into the convention, which is a bit of a head scratching for me. I mean, if you have proof of vaccination, you're pretty much passed with flying colors, right? But whatever the case, I'm gonna have to do the testing 3 days on Monday on the week before my Friday event. So I'm kind of hoping that once I get there, there's not going to be any problems with all COVID and everything. Let's continue to move on. Oh, but there's Velocity 17. That was like an arcade racing car area that I did a long time ago. It used to have been there in the Turnpike, like when you have to drive down to Garden State Plaza or Westfield, as they like to call it. That place was there for arcade games and racing. Unfortunately, it's closed down, and they reconstructed it into like a gym / rehabilitation area. So that sort of sucked in a way. Moving on ahead, let's take a look at more stuff. Again, I'm just looking through most of the stuff. There's more bowling stuff. Monster Mini Golf Course, which I gotta ask, do they still have those Monster Mini Golf Courses now? I've been to only one in Paramus, and I know that there are some more scattered about in Jersey. But do they really have more of those things? That is just a question that I'm wondering. You all better leave a comment to let me know if they still do these Monster Mini Golf Courses. Oh, Conan era. Oh yeah, that's when Conan made his debut on, I believe it was TBS, I think. And he does these Conan era shows that kind of debunked the whole mistake part. I did one myself on the whole Hollywood thing, but that is a bit of a sticking point. And it's not like he was going to post these videos anyways. Let's move on ahead. We got other stuff, arcades from Chuck E. Cheese and theater, and Star Trek Christmas Collection. That one was by far the one place I've been a bit embarrassed to talk about. So my dad was pretty much a Star Trek fan. He always liked Star Trek so much that his friend Mickey, he gave him Christmas Star Trek ornaments because as his wife used to work at Hallmark, I believe. I don't know. Unfortunately, Mickey's not with us anymore. He passed away last year in 2020. Rest his soul. But the Star Trek Christmas Collection was the one thing that was always on that tree, like on the one side of the tree, and it always show off all the variety of Star Trek stuff scattered about. We stopped it now, which was a bit of a sigh of relief. But man, that's the only thing that tree was always good at, other than, of course, our photos from families and vacation ornaments and arts and crafts stuff. Though I do want to state that in the comment section, someone posted that there was an actual Star Trek tree, and I took a look at it and was like, damn, at least it makes our tree much more equal. At least we don't have Star Trek all over the place, and I'm like, jeez, that was a mess. Oh, there's iPlay America. Oh, I remember that they opened this bad boy up in 2011, where in Freehold, New Jersey, and they were trying to be like Funplex in a way, with a lot more stuff to add to it, in a setting of a boardwalk with all the rides and stuff. They've been updating that place too since it was opened. Right now they have like a garage area that has a roller coaster. It's in one of the videos. You can take a look for yourself. But man, when they did these things, it's always special to treat these arcade games like a special event. Now, granted, I have planned on doing another iPlay America walkthrough. When I got there in 2020 and asked if I can do a recording just to see how people are handling the whole COVID thing in there, they say that they are only allowed to take pictures and not video. I took a lot of pictures, mind you, but they don't allow recordings of any kind. I learned that the hard way in a previous video. But it's okay. Once I get around to it, I'll post up a video of the slideshow of photos I took there. And maybe you might enjoy it in some form or fashion. Alright, so where was I? Alright, there's a Rockefeller Christmas show. Been doing those a couple of times. Didn't do it last year, because COVID. Even if I went to see the Rockefeller tree, me and my family had to bail because there was too many people to begin with, and we don't have much vaccination shots during that time. But we are able to handle that stuff. In Nintendo World, more transformations. Oh, the Junk House. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, close to close to my home, like near Boulevard East in Jersey. There's always this junk house that has pretty much all of this stuff set up in an artistic form. Now, I appreciate how it looked, but these days it keeps getting a little more ridiculous, especially when you have nature growing around and you don't see much of the junk. They cut off most of the vines, thankfully, but I'm a little concerned about if more is going to grow back in. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, Battleship. Oh boy, where do I begin with this one? So, when I started doing these blogs, the one thing that came into mind was the Battleship. They were doing a Super Bowl teaser of what was supposed to be an alien invasion, which I guess I'm alright with. But when they show the title of Battleship, I'm like, really? You wanted to do a alien movie and use a very popular board game that has nothing to do with aliens? That is just confusing at best and angry at worst. Now, I did 3 videos. My reaction to the Battleship Super Bowl teaser, my full-on description of the Battleship, which I found a little tidbit news article discussing about what this movie's going to be about, and of course the review. Now, the Battleship movie, I was kind of okay with it at first. I mean, I get that you want to put an alien invasion, but when you slap a name on a board game that has nothing to do with alien invasions, it does raise a lot of questions. However, I did appreciate what they were doing with the movie, especially with the aliens and, of course, those little shredder things that destroy everything, which was inspiration for my my own version of Transformer Season 3, which is on fan fiction if you want. I'll leave you a link in the description below to show all my fan fiction work. But the movie was a bit of a weird one, especially for the title involved. Kind of hoping that maybe they learn from their mistakes. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were planning on a sequel, but considering how bad it was, I was thankful it was just a one-off. Now then. Oh, I did these WrestleMania predictions back then too, so yeah. There wasn't much to work with from then on out. Then we'll check out more arcade events. Oh, Yestercades. Oh, I remember that place. So lately they've opened up, back during that time, they opened up a new place, an arcade place called the Yestercades, which focuses on arcade games of the past, like a bit of a museum / arcade district. And because of that, it became extremely popular. Soon enough, you had 2 more Yestercade places popping up, one in Somerville, one in Westfield. And no matter what, they're always so popular and so amazing. They always updated every now and then. They keep on bringing new retro games, and I've always enjoyed them as much as anyone else's. All the arcades, the pinball machines, yeah, everything. Now, I do update these things on a yearly basis as much as Funplex because I want to see what they've added. So it's always a nice change of pace. Yeah, then what's next? Oh, now this was one of my popular transformations. When I grow up from garbage, with mostly every artist that handles like age progression. And the reason why it was popular was because of one certain Flash video from TG Artists, which was a little girl immediately growing up in Flash animation. Miss the old Flash animations. Always a fun one. Now, of course, considering that this was the most popular, it's like one of the top videos for my channel, and people still watch it till this day. Hell, if you look at the view count from that, you could see how many people like it. About over 350,000 with 32 reviews and 78% likes. Quite a unique field. I'm still doing more transformation videos at this time. I am planning to do like Halloween theme and Christmas theme as well, depending on what videos I'm going to post up next, and if I'm going to be able to post them up on time. But no matter what TF video I do, it's not going to compare to the age progression video I made. Oh, this is like one of the most nostalgic ones out there. Toys R Us. I miss Toys R Us so badly. They had one in Times Square with a Ferris wheel and an arcade and so many crazy exhibits, competing against FAO Schwartz within sorts of time from time to time too. But they're pretty much gone now, and the one thing they had with were those pop-up stores in 2019 before COVID took over, and the Toys R Us brand was long gone. Really miss those things. I know they have toy sections in places like Target and Walmart and such, but it's not going to be nothing compared to the Toys R Us of old. Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Water Show from Florida. You got the final round. Oh boy, this one. the what the fugly thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to explain this to you guys on that part. Let me just put the copyright claim so guys can see what I'm going for. So I did an experiment on transformation with multiple music songs, and I used certain songs to match the transformation of Plutarch's What the Fugly. And as you can see, these are the type of songs I put together. And most of these songs were from either popular bands or Disney because of how they all look. That was a pretty bad rap on my part. But then again, this was me trying to be creative, and sometimes creativity doesn't count for YouTube's algorithms. I mean, I am planning to do another fugly one with him in Japan, but but with the background music I might be planning on using, I'm afraid it's going to suffer the same fate as the What the Fugly. So I'm kind of hoping that that doesn't go down that path in some form. Oh, and there's the fireworks show. I remember a long time that they started doing these fireworks shows in the Hudson. And since my dad was a director at a funeral home, he had roof access. So I always go up that roof and record the whole thing with my camera. As you can see, you get to see the fireworks from that area, actually. They did this for 3 years, but then they decided to put it back in the other side of the river just so they can do what? Just do it at the back end of New York instead of the Hudson? I'm sorry, it's when you have people who want to see the fireworks in person, the Hudson is like the big deal because you have the entire Boulevard East with a lot of parks, and people usually crowd around there just to see it. Now, I already went to one in Jersey City in 2019, and oh boy, that place is even more crazier than expected. I have like a video from that place on their amusement park, but I did a video on their fireworks show as well. Pretty high up, yes, but at least I get to show off what they have to offer. So I'm wishing that one day they're going to bring it back to the Hudson, because you got to give the people of Jersey something to appreciate, am I right? And of course, we have all of these Wildwood Trips that I went to for the 3 piers, both Marina Landing Pier, Surfside Pier, and Adventure Pier. I haven't been there since 2012, and even if I do, I have to take a train or take a bus down there, because trying to get to a place like that could be a hassle. And my family can't go any too far from trips, so there's nothing I can do. But I remember doing these tours just to show off what type of rides they got from all 3 piers. And I think the least popular pier, from what I saw, was the Adventure Pier, because it didn't have much to work with. Sure, they have a few slides and racetracks and all, but not much to give. Then, of course, you have the arcades, which I can't do tours of all of the arcades. So what I did was I had to be creative and did like a pier arcade thing. So I do like live videos of going all the way up from one end of the pier to the other. And I took pictures of arcades and just posted up in slideshows. This, of course, is copyright claimed, but it's still open to the public, so you guys are welcome to watch it if you want. Oh, this is kind of unique. This is a La Virgin de Guadalupe on a tree. Now, I remember my mom telling me that there was a huge thunderstorm during that time, and a lightning struck the tree, and it gave off the shape of the Virgin Mary. Because of that, a lot of people go down to there and started going down there to pray, put flowers and trinkets all over the place. It's still there to this day, and well, I don't know why it's. Don't get me wrong. At least you got some kind of artistic venture when you're dealing with Lady Mary on a tree bark. Still, it does question if this image does look like the Virgin, right? I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, let's continue searching through. Now, there's more arcade stuff. I did a review of The Amazing Spider-Man, which, by the way, Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, I would like to watch it, though it does feel like the whole Far From Home ending was a bit confusing for me. I mean, I get the whole point, but gotta keep Spider-Man secret, right? Can't make things worse as it is. Transformations. You got the Strasbourg Cathedral Light Show, which I'm amazed that I had to do anyways just because of it. Oh, Silver Ball. That Silver Ball Pinball Museum. Oh, from Asbury Park. Yeah, I went to Asbury Park. I did a recording of the Silver Ball Pinball Museum, and I liked it. It's all mostly pinball, but they always have arcades, and I go there on a yearly basis too, just 1 or 2 years at least, just see what they updated, especially 2020, because they had to remove all of the food court stuff inside and leave it outside because of COVID restrictions. I still got the video, and I'm planning to post it up when I have the chance. So be expecting to see that later on. More arcades, Comic-Con, Chinatown Fair. Ugh. I remember that they used to have a Chinatown Fair in the 90s, and it was like one of those grungy little rocks arcades that play games. I never go there myself, but then they reopened it and made it into like a family fun center, a real family fun center with games and dancing stuff. They always have like a certain other like arcades homage to the classics, but I remember they used to have a dancing chicken, and they don't have it anymore in that place. I mean, when the place is Chinatown Fair and your big selling point is the dancing chicken, you know a lot of people would like to flock down there just to see it. Fuck, see what I did there? Now I stopped doing these recordings because they told me not to allow the recordings in there, and I haven't been there for a long time during the whole COVID. Even if I do want to check to see what's been updated, I am a little concerned as to what's going to, if they still allow videos from there. Maybe one day I'll check, but for now, I better leave that optimistic. All right. Let's see. I have a Wreck-It Ralph movie review. Steel Pier, Atlantic City. I remember doing the Steel Pier. Never did the arcade. Was able to do it this year, but I'm gonna post it up when I have the chance. More Rockefeller. Oh, I also been planning. I also did these arcades and video games too, just for the hell of it. And then, of course, I did like amusement parks and video games as well. I was trying to be creative and experimental in some ways. The Transformers Prime Beast kinds of things. My thoughts. I never liked liked how they shortened that series to 13 episodes instead of their 25. I feel like they would have done more to those set videos, to that set series. And I can get that the Rise of the Predacon 3-parter was one way of doing like a season finale, but they could have added more videos during that time and no one would have batted an eye over it. It felt a little more rushed. Now, as far as I'm concerned, my version of season 3 is a much better. I know it's a slow process. I think I'm up to episode 6 because I have a lot of other writing materials to work with, along with a busy schedule of my life. But a lot of people still enjoy those readings. Again, link for my fanfiction is below if you want to read those 6 episodes. The sixth one is still ongoing, so you might as well enjoy them while you're at it. Swing Time, haven't been there in a long time. Got the Jenkinson Boardwalk stuff, including the arcades, the WrestleMania Access Tour that I've done for WrestleMania 29. Was there at the show, along with WrestleMania 35 with my friends. Always enjoyable. The MoMA Art and Video Games section. Oh, that was unique. They have all these video games set up as an articulate form. Pole Position Raceway. It used to have been called Pole Position. Now it's RC something. Oh, Teen Titans Go. That's a bit of a long talk for me to even explain to it, but I used to watch the first season, some of its episodes, and I stopped watching it from that point forward during season 2 because it is just so redundant. The fact that not only that they kept going with the season, but trying to poke fun at the fans from the original, me included, that's a pain in the ass. I don't even understand why they did this. What, for the money? Well, even so, they did this constantly, having its Cartoon Network schedule being filled mostly with this crap, along with a movie, a feature-length movie. And for what? Just because it targets the toddlers that watches this show? I just didn't like that at all. I mean, just looking at this picture, I know that it was a terrible decision, even on my part. I just hope that they learn from their mistakes and just move on from this show, and make Cartoon Network better than it is. I mean, sure, they got the Teen Titans Go versus the original Teen Titans, and I might watch it just for another fan fiction I'm doing, but really hate that series as a whole. I really, really do. And then you got all the trips from Vegas that I did a couple of times. New York, New York. You got Circus Circus. You got MGM Grand. I remember there was an arcade in the old strip. That was fun. Richie Knuckles. I haven't been there for a long time. They're still open, but they're only open up on weekends at night. So I don't think I want to be wasting my time going down there. We found this. A majestic Midway from the Italian Fair. That was something. Los Matadores, my opinion. Yeah, I think this was when I responded to Limp Bizkit 3030, who is also a fan fiction writer. He stopped doing fan fiction a long time ago, yet his channel is still there. Been doing iPad arcade updates. Stopped doing that a long time. 8 on the Break. Dunella, New Jersey. I did this is just only one recording that I did for 8 on the Break. And that was a bit of a big deal during that time. And it had like a lot of good arcades, classic and new school, especially the pinball machines. I didn't do another one since then. I will do that one day, maybe. It does depend if we go to Short Hills or any other places around it. But until then, it's only one video, and I'm hoping for even more. Just gonna make sure that my thing is still working, the recording, because I don't know if it's working or not. Okay, getting back to the point. The Papa Mosca's clock. Oh yeah, it was that clock in one of those cathedrals in Europe that has like a guy that was eating bugs, like real bugs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can question that part. Oh, the YouTube ID issues, Jesus. I remember those things. Okay, I've been doing a couple of YouTube things for a couple of reasons. For one, because of the IT claims, and for two, because of COPA and their videos for kids option in 2020. That was a bit of an excessive thing. Now, most of my videos still work. That is understandable. But when they are trying to cut off videos just because of ID concerns, that is always, or if it's for kids, that is just completely baffling even for me. I get they're trying to make YouTube as family friendly. I mean, you take a look at DeviantArt one time. I looked at DeviantArt one time for a certain section, and oh boy, that was nightmare fuel on my part. But at least they're being more lax on these restrictions. Otherwise, I wouldn't have like a YouTube channel to begin with. Except for one claim, which I might have to get to when I get to it. We got the Super Bowl Boulevard, which they were at the Super Bowl in MetLife Stadium. 2-bit retro arcades, the Bellagio Water Show. Oh, the WWE Network. That was something that I was. Yeah, I used to have been a subscriber to WWE Network since day one. I watch all of its content. I enjoyed most of the stuff. The pay-per-views were $9.99, so that was a sigh of relief. So I don't have to either waste like $39 to $59 on a pay-per-view, or have to find illegal ways in getting them for free. Now, though, they stopped the WWE Network in early 2021 and moved it to the Peacock state streaming service, which is pretty much NBC in a nutshell. It does feel a little weird, yes, to have all the WWE content on a channel that focuses on Harry Potter or The Office or Seinfeld or whatnot. But hey, it's much more cheaper for $4.99. But I bought the $9.99 just so I don't have to have my experience stop over ads. I know a lot of people are having issues with like live pay-per-views. I'm way behind on that type of stuff. I have a lot of wrestling content to watch in February at the time of this recording. So it is a rather difficult to manage. But at least I can still watch WWE content. Now, if we have like AEW doing like content in other streaming services too. I'm pretty sure that HBO Max with their Go Big show with Cody Rhodes, they might consider putting all of their AEW content on HBO Max in general. Ugh, another blocked video from Teen Titans. Ooh. Teen Titans Arcade. I remember that I played this game before, and they had like one that had like Space Invaders and one that has Pong. That was something. Unshakers Broken Streak. Yeah, I'm so pissed about that part. Would have wished that a newcomer would have beaten the Undertaker instead of Brock Lesnar. The New York Faberge Big Egg Hunt. Ugh. They had this in the Rockefeller Center in 2014. Always where they have like artistic eggs. The FAO Schwartz. Oh, I remember doing that. FAO Schwartz used to have been a big toy store back in the day. They closed down, then reopened in a much more smaller scale. Then they closed down again. Kind of sucks when you have toy stores not living up to expectations. Oh, we have the Walt Disney tour. I remember going to Walt Disney World one time just for the hell of it. And to do all these walkthrough tours. I really wish to do Disneyland in California, especially when they now opened up the Avengers campus in California Adventures. But unfortunately, unfortunately, I can't go to those trips. And even if I could, you gotta have to deal with airlines and their little COVID restrictions. I'm vaccinated, yes, and I can wear my mask. But I feel bad for people who just don't want to wear masks just for the hell of it. Kind of really sucks when you think about it. Another age restriction from Sarah's Aaron, another popular video that I've done. Transformers age restriction. Oh, this one's interesting. Partially blocked from my Bioshock Infinite Fantasy arcade locations. To say arcade locations is a bit much, but they're showing like all those video things and whatnot. And I had to do the mod and wonderful songs just for the hell of it. Now, it looks like it's partially blocked. Only 40% of your audience, measured by watch time, can't view this. So what does that include? Looks like the United Kingdom and Germany. Makes sense. Only people who are allowed to watch is US, Japan, and Canada. Kind of sucks. Alright, let me keep going. Still, I got some place to go. Going to leave at 4:30, so I'll make it quick. Oh, the Miko Flick playlists. Looks like this one seems to be working out well. Let me take a look. Everyone can still see the video and everything's not affected, even though the songs played there are a big deal. Are being seen on this, a long list of songs. But there is one video that must have been blocked permanently. Let me see if I can find it right here. Let's see. Salmon Crystal. Oh, I remember that they did Salmon Crystal is like a revamped version of Sailor Moon. Watched a few episodes. Didn't like the art style. I kind of like the classic better. R-Type Seahawk app from Chili's. I remember seeing that. Hershey's Shake Shop. That was from my college when I was in college in the cafeteria. They had these shake things that have you pick your flavor. You put the container gets inside, and then they mix this content for you. Let's see. Just checking to make sure any videos that I recorded. Yeah, there's Miko Flick 2. That's the one that's been blocked. Ugh. Really hate it when they block certain things that have music in them. I really do. you have all these videos set up here. It's just, that really sucks that everything I worked for was all for nothing. Hang on, let me close this so I don't have to see it again. The arcade candy dispensers, jeez, I don't know why I even post that up. Though I got the feeling that that I might do another recording for arcade at my house. Again, work in progress. Once I'm done, I'll record it and show it to you guys. Then, of course, we have the Disney Quest, that 4-story arcade. That was fun. It used to have been fun. Unfortunately, it is mostly everything is mostly outdated. The only thing that's still up to date is all their arcades. Unfortunately, too bad though they closed that place down. Would have been something, that place. That would have been expanded to other areas. Well, of course, you have the Universal tours set up from down there. This was around the same time that I did the Disney tours. And fun fact, I had a bad case of pain from eating 4-cheese pasta in one of their restaurants in their hotel, so wasn't a memorable time for me. Let me just keep skimming through just to see. Oh, this is when I got a new camera for the just a regular arcade. You got looks like this one's blocked too. The Seaside Heights arcade. Kind of surprising as well, considering that the Wildwood one got a pass, but this one didn't. And I think I know why. In the Summertime and the Weezer's I'm in this song. Ugh, jeez. It looks like we got another 18+ only from the De-Evolution, and another plan for another De-Evolve video with an artist, but she stopped making those videos, and I still have those images, so I don't know what to do with them. The Cartoon Network rant, you already know that I didn't like Dummy putting Teen Titans first instead of all the other shows. Oh, the Trump presidency one. Oh boy. Now I think I remember I decided to go neutral. Though I do want to lie to you all people, be honest with you people, and I had to vote for Trump because my family told me to, so don't want to get into too much trouble as it is. Though, say what you will, at least Trump got the job done. This President Biden, he made the situation far worse than it already is. Yeah, I know the whole COVID thing started and Black Lives and everything because of Trump stuff during the whole Trump administration. But was it really Trump's fault that all this went down on his part? You know, it's the whole Democrat side and the woke movement, and it's just, it's frustrating, especially now when you have multiple crises going on, whether it be the border crisis, whether it be all that spending, or the Afghanistan debacle. It's a big mess no matter what happens. I'm just kind of hoping that in about 2 years or 4 years that things will go back around. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of issues going on. Oh, I've been doing barcades too. Really want to check those out when I have the chance. Maybe the Jersey City as a starter. All the Wolfenstein All Blood. This was something I was experimenting with too, considering that even though they don't have much of arcades, it had like a classic retro version of Wolfenstein in the Old Blood games, and you have to find the beds just to unlock them. This was something I've been working on for some time, and it moved on to other ventures during the whole COVID period when I did Doom arcade classic level searches along with the playthroughs, and of course the WWE 2K 2020 WrestleMania stuff. So at least that was fun while it lasted. Oh, this is when I got started with the Why I Hankering for More, which is like a program for the disabled people like myself. I've been through like a couple places like walk-ins, Central Park, challenges, and art studios. I still got some more in the videos when I have the chance. Let's keep going. Oh, the Miku Expo 2016. That was when, well, maybe it wasn't 2016, but 2014 was when my first camera had the huge static sounds when music gets too loud. 2016 and 2018, I did like I went to those Miku Expos, did recordings. I did everything I could possibly can, though I was trying to be. The seating area was issuey. 2014, I was in the main floor just to watch the show like everyone else. But a lot of people were crowded, and you can't see the show in general, so that was a mistake on my part. So I did the second floor. Had to learn that I learned that you can't be standing up to watch the stuff, to record the stuff, and you have to be sitting in your designated seat, which was a bit of a mess. Thankfully in 2018, I was able to fix up a few things and learn those lessons by heart. Now, they were planning on the 2020 show, but of course, COVID not only delayed it twice, but they had to cancel it full on, so no COVID shows from that point forward, which really sucks. I'm pretty sure that they're planning on a 2022 tour for next year, but it does really begs the question on how they're going to handle social distancing. When I was at the two AEW shows for 2 weeks at the time of this recording, the place was crowded, yes, but you see people with masks and people without masks. So that could be a sticking point if they really want to do these performances with a crowd. Well, we'll see what happens in 2022. I still have that ticket in 2020, actually, and I was expecting my refund, but they never give it to me. Did call, they left a message, they had a voicemail, and I don't know what to do. Hopefully when the next tickets come out, I'll start calling Ticketmaster immediately, explaining the situation, and hopefully they might honor my ticket in some form or fashion, because other than that, I'm stuck with a invalid ticket in my room. All right, let's keep searching. I'm already wasting a lot of time as it is. Gulliver's Skate Times Square. I think that place is still opened. I hope they're opened. What do we want to check just to be safe? Six Flags. And that was when I was doing a whole tour. Camera nearly died. You just have to use the phone. And of course, two things happened. One, my dad called me, and two, a person stopped me and told me not to record anymore, so I had to do the rest in photos and descriptions. I also did like the Fright Fest stuff later on. That was recent. The Henkai Shoujo, that is like transforming girls, Transformers mixed with anime. That is quite pleasurable with the transformations. Though I never gotten word of a TV show as of yet. I know that they had a manga, but that was pretty much short-lived if that was the case. I'm hoping that they'll do it one day. Hopefully. Oh, the re-upload of my age regression video. Now this one that I need to start explaining. See, when I started doing these transformation videos, I never really asked permission. I just find the videos that are like safe for everyone on YouTube and just posted it up. Never asked, never done anything. But then when I posted this video up, the first video, I got a copyright strike along with a video on with the retarded friends on why not on copyright infringement, which nearly got me in some hot water. The copyright strike was caused by one Ariana, who is a big time transformation artist, and one of her videos was an age regression video of an old woman regressing to a young woman. So I used those pictures, I put it up with everything else, and I posted it up. She must have seen it from one of the from someone who watched YouTube, and did a strike on my channel. Now I did immediately send her an email explaining to me why I posted this up without asking her for permission, and she understands. And told me that I have to seek permission first before I had to post these said videos. And since then, I've been asking permission from artists from DeviantArt or any other website first, and to see if I can get their condolences. Some people got the video. Some people agreed, and they were okay with it, as long as I provide links to their channels or profile pages and links to their to these said images. So far, everything is working out well, and everything's fine and dandy. But man, that was tough for me. For that first strike. I'll even ask Serena if I can just post it up anyways, and she said no. So who am I to bother? I respect people's privacy. Just as long as I ask permission, I think everything will be okay. We got the tours from Coney Island. Okay. Let's see. More Saks Fifth, Six Flags. Oh, one more thing. I had more arcades from the Six Flags theme park one time. But unfortunately, due to me trying to clear up some space on my flash drive, I accidentally deleted those videos thinking that I've already posted them up, which, my bad, I guess. I really did want it to go back to Six Flags just so I can do those videos again, especially the one arcade that is located in the Midway. But, of course, COVID happened, and I can't even go into theme parks anymore with the whole COVID thing. It's been 2 years since I did an actual theme park, so maybe next year I might do it, but that is beyond hope. Anyways, let's see what else. Oh, I did the House of the Dead stuff. I forgot about that part. I was gonna do the House of the Dead 3 as well, but apparently the CD that has House of the Dead 3 is in an Xbox in the storage room in my dad's business, so I gotta figure out how to get that and open it. But don't worry, I'll figure it out. Alright, anything else that I wanted to address? Anything interesting? Oh, the Wildwood ink with 9 volts. That's something. Miko Expo 2018. Overwatch Dance Dance Revolution. That's when I had to post a video of all of the Overwatch characters dancing on a DDR-esque game. That's the New York Auto Show. I remember that one. Okay, let's see. There's anime NYC. There's the Copa thing that I mentioned before. Funhouse Point Pleasant. No, I've done this just because it was like a bit of a walkthrough. It's not much haunted house-esque, but I want to try something different. And I get that a lot of people didn't appreciate them switching from like a glow-in-the-dark forest to a pirate theme. I was okay with that. At least you get to see some light. But you can't have to deal. You can't disrespect the original. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a Disney Plus stuff, which I'm okay with anyways. There was the issue of certain things going on down there, but I can leave that up. I can pass that up. Right, here's all the Doom 2016 classic walkthroughs I did during the whole COVID situation. And this was a time when I had less videos than expected. Thankfully, businesses are opened up, and I get to finally get my chops going with video recordings. At least that's something to work with. Of course, I did like a Zoom discussion board for some friends who were part of the wrestling businesses, and one friend who isn't part of it but understands the entertainment aspect on COVID-19, how it affected wrestling. While it was pretty much successful in some form or fashion, I think I've been getting too much from Pete, my brother-in-law, because he was the one doing most of the talking and information, and none of the other people, like my friend Richard or my cousin Robert, never shared their own personal opinions. Though we did wrap it up with if wrestling's gonna venture forward during the whole COVID situation, and of course, it is going forward. I mean, you got fans back, which is a big plus. People were getting tired of the whole Thunderdome or the empty performance center beforehand, so at least it was enjoyable at best. And of course, I went to 2 of the AEW shows. Even if I did want to go to the SmackDown show in New York, I still feel a little iffy because, that's in the city anyways, and in the Garden. But Richard was there, well, not at the show per se. He was there getting some pictures from superstars coming in. Still, at least I'm glad wrestling is back, and hopefully that we're going to have no issues during that time as well. Okay, so I think we're about ready to wrap up. Just want to check other stuff here. Yeah, the rest of this was the WrestleMania 2020, WrestleMania 36 of the what if COVID didn't happen. Now I had to do these 2K games in a WrestleMania 2K20 format. I know that the game was buggy and it does crash, and you do see it on 1 or 2 videos here and there, but I think a lot of people just are putting a lot of crap on it, even though it's pretty much an average game. That's all I'm saying. It's not bad. It's just that it was pretty much rushed. I'm thankful that they're going to put their time on 2K 2022, because when you have like the previous game that was buggy and glitchy, and you have most of the roster that was fired from WWE this year, you gotta have to rework your formula into some form or fashion. So I am kind of expecting AEW to come out with their own video game, and if it comes out, I'm playing it. I'm serious. I want to see how their game can stack up against WWE's 2K games. But in considering that AEW is strong with their shows and their roster and everything, I got a feeling that AEW is gonna beat 2K. Period. That's all I am saying. And of course, we wrap it up with the whole Fright Fest and my recent arcade of Yestercade, Somerville. So I think that's all we have. Now, as far as the future of this channel is concerned, I still have like a lot of other videos that I'm working with. Not to mention that I'm planning on another arc of video games from a certain franchise. I'm not going to tell you what this franchise is, and no, it's not House of the Dead 3. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But I was planning to do this year as well, considering I was thinking that the last game was the final game. But now a new game is coming out, and I'm gonna wait it out just to see what people say about it. Of course, the bigger complaint is that I have to buy this said game on Steam, and it's not on Newgrounds, which the original games were at. I'm kind of hoping that my laptop, depending on its capacity, can actually play this said game. Otherwise, I don't know if it's going to work, or I don't know how I'm going to be able to post this up. But regardless, I will do whatever I can for that said title. As far as other tours, I still have some more arcade tours to work on. I got some more blogs that I'm planning on doing, especially one from an anime series I enjoy watching. And of course, the 2 tours for both Comic-Con and Anime NYC. I'm going to still do transformation videos as well, as long as I ask permission from artists first before I post them up. As well as the Fugly Goes to Japan one, which I'm going to be titling Turning Japanese, which of course, I have to put it up. I know what the song's going to be about. I'm hoping that if I even get copyright claim from that one, that I would be in big trouble for that. That they might ban that game, along with all the anime songs that I might put based on the end result transformations. Whatever the case, I'm still going strong on my YouTube channel. The one downside is of course, lack of theme park tours. It's been a bit rough for me during that time. In fact, the last tour that I did was, of course, Six Flags for the Fright Fest shows. But other than that, I have nothing else to do. I know the 2 places I would want to do would be Six Flags Great Escape in Lake George, and then there is the Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but those 2 are a bit too far away, and even if I do go, it's either I have to take a bus and have to make reservations for hotels, or say take trains to get there. And with the COVID, it's gonna be very difficult to figure out what to do. There's also, of course, I had to ask some if I can do a tour of the DreamWorks water park in American Dream in the Meadowlands area. I did ask, of course, if I can just do a tour for 30 minutes and do photos and whatnot, but they said that I had to need a ticket, and even if I do get in, they need a reason for it. You know, like if I work for like a legit video recording company, which I don't work for any recording. I'm just doing it just for a hobby. Which this is the reason why this channel was made, just for a hobby. I don't do this for a job like all the other YouTubers. Even if I could, I don't even know if I have a target audience for it. I mean, I already have like over 2,000 subscribers on my channel. It's nothing compared to all of the millions, if not billions, of subscribers. But it's always part of the deal. I just do it for fun. I just don't do it for the job. I mean, I know that I did recording for Nickelodeon's park in American Dream, but still, the water park, I need to figure that one out one way or the other. Still, it's been an amazing 10 years. I enjoyed doing these games as much as the next person, these videos. And I'm hoping that in another 10 years, I might still have something to work with. That is, of course, if I find theme parks that I can do tours with. Because if not, might as well have to put these videos on hold until then. I still have other theme park stuff, but I do have a system where I have to do a theme park tour, pier tour, a certain ride, and a theme park and a video game. That's the only things I could do. Other than that, I'm hoping that I continue with this channel and give you guys the type of content that you would all enjoy, depending on what your taste is. So, this is luisanitrans, aka I'm25, aka LuisJM, signing off. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time. # where are the good cartoons?